welcome to Parent Connect. And today we are connecting with the Drug Education Council. We would like to welcome Mr. Terry King and Ms. J.B. Pappas to the show today. Hello.
Nice to have y'all.
Welcome. So when we say Drug Education Council, we know we are going to have a discussion about some drugs.
Yes.
Right. And some of the wonderful things that you all are doing, not only for the Mobile County Public School System, but also for Mobile County and surrounding areas. Mm-hmm. So if we had to pick one topic that was a hot topic to get us started today, what do you think that topic would be, Carmen?
I think that it would be the big hot thing that's going around, the vaping.
Right.
Because that's all you hear about in the news lately.
Right. Mm-hmm. So for those of us who just really don't have a clue, what's vaping?
Vaping is, it's being seen all over the country, but especially here in our local area. Mm-hmm. But it's an electronic cigarette. It's lit by a lithium battery. But you kids and adults are finding pods that have nicotine, different kind of chemicals in it, and are smoking them.
So just like a regular cigarette, but it's electronic.
Right.
Yes. But it does have nicotine in it.
Yeah. And they're not regulated.
Most vaping devices have nicotine. Mm-hmm. And vaping became popular around 2011. Mm-hmm. And that's
fairly recent.
Yes, and that's when we began to see the high school students experimenting with the devices. There was not much data around. I started learning about vaping around February 2019. I was in Washington, D.C., and when I got back to Mobile, it was like, wow, what is going on here? And around that time, it was like 21% of high school seniors were vaping. And today we have about 37% of high school seniors.
So it's gone up a lot in such a short amount of time.
Yes.
So what do you all contribute to the popularity of students having that desire to vape?
Peer pressure, for one, and being cool. And one thing the Jewel Company did, what the Jewel Company did, they're saying this did not happen purposely, but when you look at the Jewel Company, which is the biggest stakeholder in the e-cigarette industry, they came up with all these flavors. Now,
that always gets kids.
The flavors. When you look at the flavors, I bought some candy just as an analogy to show you guys. You know, you can get vaping juice and sour cream. Now, all of this is on the aisle right by the cash register. And you and I as adults, when we go to the grocery store, we're not looking at candy.
Exactly.
And another popular favorite, this is candy, is Skittles. The Skittles.
So it does fool the kids into thinking that it's harmless, that you know nothing's going to happen. You're having Sour Patch flavor, fruity flavors, exactly thinking, oh, it's no big deal. But every one of them has the nicotine.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Most vaping devices do have the nicotine, and what the CDC has discovered is that there's a chemical, vitamin E acetate. Vitamin E acetate.
I've heard about that.
That's what they've discovered is causing the lung injuries.
Because when we think acetate, especially from a female standpoint, you know, we're something really harmful, something that if it removes
strong
something,
chemical,
right. So what you're saying is vaping has
that as well.
Yes, and vitamin E acetate is used to thickening this THC chemical. Now, vitamin E is good. And vitamin
E acetate.
It's in food products, meat, cereals,
and
vegetables.
you're smoking it, you're vaping it through your lungs and through your whole body.
Wow.
That's
that
the
does
danger.
not sound like something very good to do.
Right.
Sounds very dangerous.
Right.
And that's what we learned when we had some pulmonologists come and speak to us about what the long-term effects on your lungs are. And they say with vaping, it's a permanent damage. You can never reverse the damage that's done to your lungs.
So it's not like cigarettes that they say, well, if you stop smoking, X amount of months, this, that, and the other, it reverts.
Right.
The damage is permanent.
It's permanent, and you can't undo it. So
That's
these young children are doing it, and it's for the rest of their lives.
Young.
Right. And I can only imagine that as a child, a high school senior, you think you're cool, you know.
You're already a senior, yes.
Right. You know, the cigarette behind the ear, but I'm vaping, the smoke and the cloud. And there's really no time frame to determine the damage or if it's going to take place or happen.
Right.
Wow.
And they look so neat. You know, they make them look cool and attractive to young people. They're real techy and They look like they plug into your computer, like the USB drives. And
So is it possible for a parent not to know that their child is vaping?
That's what
Definitely.
it is.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
So what are some signs, some indicators as a
That
parent?
parents should beware.
Well, it's very difficult because of the design of these products. I recently talked to one parent, a dad, and he said his daughter was doing their homework, and when she emptied her book bag, he saw a very unusual pen. And
What
she
looked
said
like
it
a
was an
pen.
ink pen, but it wasn't an ink pen, it was a vaping pen. So, and what we suggest is that parents just be aware and be familiar with the products. You know, you can go to the CDC website and you can find the different designs. What a lot of students are doing, they're going to these websites that are not safe and they're finding these designs. I mean,
That are
ordering them
totally
online.
different.
Yes, they're so.
And because of them no regulations, then they're not checking for age or any of that. So
Right.
anyone
Or it's
can
just a
order.
box that you click, oh yes, I'm 18 and older.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
No
Right.
one's actually checking that.
And you made a key point there when you said regulate. Nobody wants regulation when it comes to the government.
Right.
But you know, we feel now this need to be regulated because it is attracting kids. And these guys have gotten so tech savvy to design these design this equipment to attract kids.
So what's the youngest that you all have seen?
That's the
as
same
far
thing
as-
I was thinking.
Right.
How young have you guys seen somebody vaping? I'm
I
afraid to
can't
know.
speak for what I've seen, but what young people tell me, we're talking 11, 12 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is crazy. That is
Yes.
so young.
Exactly.
Middle schoolers.
Yes, middle school. Oh my gosh, we're seeing a big increase of middle schoolers who experiment with the vaping.
Well, when you
device.
talk peer pressure, I'm coming into my own.
Yes,
And so this is something that it's cool and everyone is doing
It's
it.
a big
So-
change. Finally,
Right.
no longer elementary school. You're in middle school, and you
Right.
fall a victim to this as well.
Yeah.
And I think just the attractiveness, like Mr. King was saying, with the candy, the Skittles.
And they smell good.
yes.
Yeah.
So I
yes.
think that's something else too, that as a parent you have a hard time recognizing that, oh, it's, you know, it's not like a cigarette.
Right.
You could think, oh gosh, they've cleaned the room, air freshener,
Yeah,
whatever, and you don't
exactly.
realize what
So
it actually
is that the smell that would come from vaping?
the smell of the candy?
Yes, yes, that smell of candy. And another concern I have, just talking to young people, unfortunately, parents and family members are sort of part of the problems. You know, they think it's okay. I've had young people to say things like, "My mom says okay. She'd rather me vape than to get involved in the marijuana." So, we have
smoking and other things.
Right.
So, the parents need to understand that this is harmful to their child. Recently, just a couple of months ago, there was a young man in another state. He had 2 lung transplants. And
That is crazy.
Yes, he
That
had
is
2 lung.
terrible.
This is the
That's
first
scary.
double lung transplant that came from his vaping. So parents need to be aware that, even though
what's going
yes,
on.
what's going on.
So parents, when we come back, as we break, we'll talk more about some of the things and warning signs and give you some information, parents, so as to the seriousness of vaping.
Hi, I'm Renee Phillips, Director of Communication for Mobile County Public Schools and your host of Homeroom. I invite you to join us as we learn about the great things happening in our schools across the county. On Homeroom, you get to meet students and educators who are in our schools every day doing wonderful things. Join us as we take an in-depth look at their stories, issues, people, and policies of the Mobile County Public Schools. That's Homeroom. You can find it weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
The more parents are involved in school, the more likely it is a child will succeed. Children with involved parents and attend school regularly make better grades and have better social skills. Every involved parent makes a difference.
Get involved. Ask about your child's day. Explain how your education matters. Parent involvement, it matters.
You can find more information on parent involvement at mcpss.com.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
Welcome back, parents, as we continue to connect with the Drug Education Council, Ms. Pappas and Mr. King. So when we left at break, and I guess it kind of just took me for a loop, Mr. King was saying, some parents don't really understand. It's okay, I'd rather see you vape than smoke a cigarette. So what are some warning signs as a parent if I don't know? So then we'll come back to the ones who do know. But if I don't know as a parent, what are some of the warning signs?
What should I be looking for?
Well, you should definitely look and see, get familiar with what the products look like, because they definitely look like things that maybe you wouldn't think are smoking devices. See if they're coughing, if they're acting sick. You know, there are the physical symptoms as well.
The kids will be showing.
Right.
Definitely those signs of coughing
Shortness
and
of breath
and wheezing.
Wow.
And also if they're asking for money, you know, they have to pay for
That
these
was my
products.
thing, the money. Where the kids get money to buy this stuff from?
Right. Well, they
Parents have
also
to be
share
giving them the money, so they have to be somewhat aware if your child's asking you for extra money.
Right.
And as you all know, once, and when I talk to the young people, I ask this question, what do most high schoolers want when they get into the 10th grade? And they all say a job. And so if you look at the vaping industry, you know they have data showing that, you know, young people, they come in ninth grade, they're not thinking about employment. Once they get in the 10th grade, they get a job. Now they have the money to buy these products.
They have the means to be able to do it, so the parents aren't even aware.
Right.
Because in order to do that, you would have to buy the vape pen.
Right.
And then
The pods, like you said.
those are the refills. And so in order to keep up, because unfortunately, it can become a habit.
Right.
So is that one of the misconceptions that a parent is okay with, but not realizing that it can
Thinking it's
become
not a habit
Right.
like cigarettes.
And it's addictive, you know. We look at nicotine. Nicotine is addictive. Now, here's another danger. You have young people now who are, and you know, it's not legal in Alabama, they're taking THC liquid and mixing it with the vape juice. Now we have a really
So they're doing this whole concoction
Yes,
themselves.
yes, the CBD oil that we see in the stores. They're taking that product and mixing it with vape juice. Now we have a time bomb right here.
Right, because you don't know. And then
Different
as
chemicals, so you don't
Different
even know if you
chemicals.
should be
Exactly.
mixing this stuff
Exactly.
together.
Right.
Exactly. So are these some of the things when you talk to students? Do you find that because they are not aware of the hidden dangers, when you start to talk to them, do they start to ask questions or even own up to, well, yes, I've done this, or what are some of the reactions you're seeing from students?
One thing when we talk to students, we want them engaged. We want them to. We don't go in the classroom.
Right.
We don't want to be the show. You know, when you talk to young people, you learn from them.
Exactly.
And unfortunately for a lot of them, they're learning from the internet. And they're learning from websites that are not giving them the facts. And we try to get them to understand, if you want to get the facts, go to the CDC website, go to reputable websites so you can get the factual information.
Go to the reputable ones that you know aren't going to be more towards the vaping industry, that are going to tell you the truth.
Right.
Yes.
Right. They're trying to sell you anything.
Right. And you know,
Convince
I was recently in the class with some high school students, and I told them that the latest data is going to be released December 5th. Because of the Thanksgiving holidays, the CDC wasn't able to get any information. But as of today, there are over 2,000 lung cases related to vaping, and there are 47 deaths around the country, 4 in the state of Alabama. So now the latest research.
So we have had victims as well.
Yes,
Right,
yes. So it's going to be interesting for me to see what is going to come out December 5th when the CDC released the latest
When they
results.
updated to see
Yes.
the changes.
Right.
Yes.
And due to technology, we're more current with data. So when we're talking to students, then so
Right.
they can really see. So let's go to these parents who, you know, are thinking this is something that I'd rather see them do this. I don't want them to smoke. I've possibly had an issue with smoking. So
This
now
will
when
be
you
easier,
right.
not addictive.
Right.
Right.
So when you talk to parents, are you getting an aha moment, you know, or is it still going to
Are
take?
they becoming aware?
Right.
I think they are,
They
just
are.
with the way that it's blown up in the news. But what's so difficult is because it's only been around for such a short amount of time, we don't have that much information, you know,
Right.
so it's
Well,
just
I think
what's
4
coming in.
deaths would
would
right.
tell you more than enough.
Yeah.
That's all I would need to know to make sure that my
with
kids
something
weren't doing
that is actually marketed as harmless, it's okay,
It's so
safe.
harmless. Why are these people dying?
Right.
Right.
And I'm gonna go out on the limb because we just had a meeting in our office, and when I leave here between today and tomorrow, I'm gonna contact central office because we have a person in our office who's going to do, if a school is doing a PTO meeting, we're gonna let someone from our office come and explain this about vaping to the parents and it's their faculty.
Yes.
So we just organized that before the Thanksgiving break. So once I make contact with the administrators or the counselors at the schools, we're going to try to get that done. So
And
we can
that's
get
important, not only for
is.
the students, but for the parents that
Right.
vape to be aware of the consequences.
Right, because it's not only students. You know,
No.
I'm sure the original intent for vaping was
Was for adults.
adults.
that was the intent, you know, to get away from the combustion of the smoking. But here again, the Jewel Company had a different idea with these flavors.
What's
Once
important?
they did that, it kind of changes things.
Right.
Right. Well, I think it's important for anybody that's around a child or any like grandparents, educators, anyone, just to know about this because it can affect anybody. It's not just parents and
Exactly.
because grandparents also are seeing it and I don't think they realize what it is.
Most definitely. And then when you added that third element, something that's not even a part of that, just because of, wanting to experiment and then reading and like you were saying, the internet, there's so
Not
much
getting
out
the right
there.
information.
And not understanding the side effects, not understanding, unfortunately, if a child has a pre-existing health condition.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you began to do all of this.
Yeah.
So we can kind of go back to the Drug Ed Council because I can remember as a teacher, the big kit would come around. So it looks different now where we still want to know what marijuana looks like. We still want to know the devices. So now you have vaping pens.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are
They're
things
so
that,
different.
Right.
Now here's something that's real scary, and I learned in February in Washington, D.C., talking to several doctors. Now we're having to deal with third-hand smoke.
I was going to ask you
Yes.
if that pertained to vaping as well,
Yeah.
because I know we always talked about that with cigarettes.
Yes.
Smoke.
So explain the third hand
It's just like secondhand smoke
With
cigarettes. Now the third-hand smoke is the chemicals that are coming from the vaping that you cannot see. It's getting on everything that's around. So like students, and I tell students, you're in the restroom, you don't want to use the word snitch, but your bathroom is full of chemicals on the sink and everything else. What doctors are saying now is there's a chance that person can develop some health problems down the road from third-hand smoking.
Isn't that crazy?
It makes a lot of sense because these chemicals are going in there, they're falling down somewhere, so they're falling down.
Right.
That's true, because when you do see someone vaping, you see the little cloud and you can smell it, but then
Where's
what
it go?
happens to all those
It
chemicals,
goes up,
like you're
it's
saying?
coming down.
Right.
It's got to come down on things.
Whoa, so much information. Parents, when we return from our break, what we want to do is, we mentioned the Drug Education Council, so it looks a lot different now. So we would like to find out what are some things that are available, not only for Mobile County Public Schools, but also for the community at large.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Welcome back, parents. We are connecting with the Drug Education Council. So you all do so much for Mobile County Public Schools and the community at large. Any legislation out there, that information that you all are providing, I know as far as the school system goes, and also for just the community at large?
Right. We helped get a legislation passed a few months ago. It's called the Stringer-Drummond Vaping Act. So we worked with Shane Stringer and Barbara Drummond, our state legislators, and they came together and realized how big of an issue vaping was.
Right.
So we regulated the selling of vaping products, and now they're equalized to tobacco products, so you must be 19 to purchase.
Okay. That's good.
It is.
Keeps
Which
a lot
is
of
great.
younger kids from doing it.
Right.
Right.
It limits the flavors that we talked about earlier to there's only mint, menthol, and tobacco flavors, which is great, so it's not targeting our youth. And then it also prohibits the locations of the vape shop, so they can't be near daycares, churches, schools.
That I really like,
Right. I
so
do
that way
too.
kids aren't seeing it.
Right.
Exactly.
Out of sight.
Exactly.
So that was a big deal. We're excited that was able to be passed.
Well, we commend you all for that, because of being a part of the community and something that we've seen change from the original intent of the Drug Education Council. You all have to be on the cutting edge with data, the different trends. What are some other things that you all find yourselves involved in when it comes to the community, and especially our students?
Well, one thing we want the parents to know is we do drug testing. Parents can bring their children by.
I like that.
Yes.
And it's anonymous, and that's my big concern. A lot of parents are not taking advantage of it. It's free.
Right.
They can come to the office. We do the urine sample test. We give them a football ticket. They can contact, and parent can get the number, and they can find out, various substances.
To be informed and
Yes.
to know what's going on.
Right.
You have to be aware so that you can help your child if there is some
Exactly.
type of drug problem, whatever's going on.
Right.
And this is an easier
Right.
way than
Right.
trying to do it at home, being tricked, whatever
Exactly.
not. You're actually going to the professionals.
Right.
Right.
And that's one thing what the superintendent wanted when we talked to him about at the beginning of the year. He wanted the parents involved, and I totally agree. Nothing is going to happen if parents don't get involved.
You have to be aware that service is available.
Right. The awareness, the involvement, the education piece.
Right.
So do you all go out as requested to community events providing information? One thing that I am grateful for you saying that now you all at a point where you will begin to do parent meetings.
Right.
So parents can see
Can be
this is
aware
what it looks
themselves.
like and get that information themselves. Are you all available for services to other individuals?
Yes. Some days we are. Churches, social organization, any type of organization contact us, and we scramble. We're limited in staff, but we get together and we see who's available and who can go. But we do everything possible to accommodate,
to inform the whole community.
Any request.
Right. And then I noticed we keep talking about the data, but that's so important so that we understand the seriousness of this. And when we look at data, it's letting us know what's going on in our community.
Right.
So how often do you all find yourselves at the table looking at data?
Pretty often.
And a lot with me in the schools. I'm in the schools a lot,
Right.
and my data is the response from the kids. I have a sheet of paper. I ask them two generic questions. They can't put their name on it nor their school name. We want the kids to be able to talk to us and give us
openly without feeling there'll be consequences.
And it can really be heart-wrenching sometimes to see what kids write, and sometimes kids.
And that's the best data,
Yes.
though. That's
Yes.
because we're doing
coming
it to
straight
help
from
them.
them.
Exactly.
Right, and they're able
Exactly.
to express themselves. A lot of them are holding it in. They just want to talk to someone.
Let somebody know what's
Yes,
going on.
and that one sheet of paper without their name, without their
Right.
school name, they just express themselves, and that I find that very, very important.
Because if you see a common trend or a thread at a school, in a community, then you all know that that's something that we need to address, be on the lookout for.
Right, right. And we emphasize to young people, just because something is legal, that doesn't mean it won't harm you.
That's right.
Alcohol is legal. Not marijuana, I'm sorry. Cigarette smoking is legal. And unfortunately, a lot of our young people think in the state of Alabama, because they see the CBD oil signs around us, they think marijuana is legal. So, you know, that's that
You need to be very aware and educate yourself and parents as well.
Right.
Exactly. Because vaping is new, but we still have the alcoholism. We still have the marijuana.
Exactly.
Drug use, illegal prescription meds. These are still things that
still affect the community.
Exactly, exactly.
And we've got a lot of brochures and pamphlets and information at our office that parents or anybody can come and get if they're
Get
interested.
a couple brochures and read
and learn about it.
And sometimes even for a parent to just sit down and have a conversation
with their kids,
because there are no dumb questions.
No,
and
not at all.
Right. And times have changed so much. We need to ask questions. And then I just like the fact that you all make it where it's just like there's, we're going to have a conversation. We're here to help. Nothing is punitive. And it's an anonymous. We're here to help. We're not going to go back to school and
tell everybody and tell just make it more comfortable. The environment.
Exactly.
Prevention is the key.
Prevention
is the key.
That's wonderful.
Prevention through education.
So if a parent or community person, if they want to get in touch with you all at the Drug Ed Council, what would they need to do?
There's our website, which is drugeducation.org. We have a Facebook page, so you can message us through that or see what we're up to on that. You can also call us. We're 251-478-7855, and you can talk to any of us at the office.
And then we know that you all are in and out of the schools in Mobile County, and we appreciate that and look forward to it. What about community events?
How would they find out about community events that you guys are having?
Facebook or Instagram too. So you can follow us on either of those, Drug Education.
Okay. Well, anything else you would like to leave with parents as we get ready to close? Anything that if you had one thing you could say to a group of parents?
Communicate. Keep communication open.
That's true.
Unfortunately, young people feel that, what I find, young people feel that we haven't experienced things in life, and when I talk to young people, the first thing I tell them, I get it. I understand. I'm not here to beat you down. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to make you see that you're going to be okay. You're going to make mistakes in life. Making mistakes in life is part of growing up, but don't allow those mistakes to define who you're going to become. You will get over that hump.
Right. So communicate, Ms. Pappas.
Communicate. Yeah, the open conversation. It's important.
Okay. So that seems to be a strong
Yes,
theme
it
there.
is.
Right.
I'll make sure I go home and talk to my son about this.
Yes.
To find out. You just never know. The comment that you made about how it looked like a pen and the dad wasn't aware, that really hits home because so many times kids do come in with little knickknacks and whatnot, and you just don't know what it really is.
Exactly.
All right, parents, thank you all so much for joining us today on Parent Connect, and we look forward to seeing you again. Keep that one word in mind: communication.